Ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to be having a bit of fun with a brand new champion, Mister Sinister. We are going to be maxing this dude out as a 3-star and then taking him into the final quest of Act 4 to fight Maestro, which is kind of like our benchmark for testing out new 3-star champions. And with like Havoc very, very fresh in mind from yesterday, I've kind of got an idea, but I don't feel like Mister Sinister is going to be quite as insane as Havoc was. However, I'm really looking forward to today's gameplay because Mister Sinister, he's very, very different and very, very quirky, and I don't really know what to think of this champion so far because he's got lots of different bits of utility that I don't really know how to value, and I don't know how good they're going to be in the future. But you know, we're going to see how we feel by the end of this video, and there are some very, very cool stuff that this champion can do. So anyway, let's smash that rank up, let's max him out. We're going to talk about the abilities, and then we're going to jump into a little bit of Act 4 very shortly after that, and dive into some gameplay. So let's put some 5k mutant ISO in there. We're gonna have to claim a little bit more of that just to fully max this lad out today. So let's go for another stack of 5k mutant there, and see, yeah, is that okay? That's a little bit of overkill, but it's not really too bad there, and that brings him up to rank 4, level 40. The health on Mister Sinister seems pretty damn nice, and also a notable thing is he does have slightly above average block proficiency, but lower crit rating, a lower crit damage, but he does kind of make up for those attributes with his heavy attack as well. Now, in terms of what Mister Sinister does, let's talk about his awakened ability first, because this is a fairly interesting one. Kind of has this persistent charge thing, which it seems like an awakened ability that requires like a lot of signature levels to be very, very useful, because I can only have like 8 levels of Mister Sinister. I've got pretty much no mutant signature stones, and it's not really doing a whole lot for the 3-star version, but it can be increased quite significantly there. So yeah, each time you defeat an opponent, pretty much every opponent apart from the tech class there. So mutant, you gain prowess, which increases special attack damage. Skill, you gain precision, which gives you a bit more crit rating. Science, you gain increased regeneration rate, which can be really useful in combination with stuff like the suicide masteries, willpower, and also when he gets critical hits, he regenerates a little bit as well. So if you can take a critical hit, that might result in a bit of a net gain there. Then we got Mystic, which gives him more power. Cosmic, which gives him more fury. But as you can see, at level 8, man, there's not really a huge amount of effect on these, so you really do need to kind of beef him up quite a bit. I think the regeneration and power rate stuff goes up to about 20-30% on some higher level characters there, at higher sig levels, so it seems quite important, the signature stones. And then we have his abilities. So first off, we got a couple of interesting stuff. So he's immune to Taunt and reverse controls. So stuff like Emma Frost and also the Gauntlet version of Thanos there can be quite useful. But once you get used to those controls, they're not too bad to play around. And also he can block unblockable special attacks. Combined with kind of the slightly above average block proficiency is a very, very nice thing to have. His regeneration rate can also not be lowered below 0. And this is, I think, one of the main things that's going to make him so valuable, mainly as a defender. 100% chance to regenerate 70% of damage dealt by enemy critical hits over 0.4 seconds, so it's almost immediately. Abilities cannot modify the ability accuracy, duration, or potency of this ability, so ability accuracy reduction doesn't work, and heal block is really the only solution to this one, or non-crits or damage over time stuff. And regeneration rate increases by 1% for every hit on the opponent's combo meter. So this dude is a pretty big counter when it comes to Alliance War stuff. Looking at champions like Corvus Glaive, big mitigator of characters like Ghost and Stark and Aunt Spider-Man. So yeah, pretty interesting there. I think that's going to make him insanely valuable for Alliance War defense. Aegon as well. This is really, really good against. Then we have while charging the heavy attack, and this is one of the coolest things. He pauses the duration of all damaging debuffs, stuns, so this is parry stun as well, concussion, virus special 2, special 3 on the opponent, and while these effects are paused, they are still active as well. So if you've got like a degeneration or a bleed, like it's still dealing damage while it is paused. And kind of the heavy attack, you know, it charges for a couple of seconds there, so you can get some additional ticks out of all of your damage effects and utility effects there, which is very, very nice to have. So charging the heavy attack, and you're going to see something really cool if you pay attention with his hands. It's kind of, I think his right hand glows after 1 second, and then the left hand, and they kind of combine there. So charging it for 1 second grants you a precision buff, which increases crit rating by a really nice amount. You can see here it's almost 800 for 6.2 seconds, and this provides additional crit rating for each debuff on the opponent as well. And then if you charge it kind of pretty much to its full duration there, you gain a cruelty as well, which gives you a little bit more crit damage. But as you can see in terms of the numbers here, the crit damage is a lot less than the crit chance, so that's something fairly important to keep in mind there. But this dude has a lot of base critical rating if you can kind of get that crit buff up there. But these two buffs, you know, seem really, really good, and also pauses all the effects as well, so the heavy is very, very valuable and great to use in a lot of scenarios. Then we got the special attack 1. So the special attack 1 transfers all damaging debuffs to the opponent for 4 seconds, and this ability can activate even if it's blocked or avoided. So yeah, basically gets rid of all damaging debuffs that you have, which at the moment you might have seen from, I think probably about 80% of content creators made this video, man. I saw it like 10 times yesterday, where you've got suicide masteries on, and this is currently a bug at the moment with the champion, where you get the suicide masteries, you get to a special one, you transfer it over, and then you use the heavy attack as much as possible to get as much damage out of it, and it like nukes down a Labyrinth of Legends boss. Apparently this interaction is going to be fixed, so if you're getting the character for that reason, it's probably not going to work when he comes out for kind of general release there, but I'm not too sure if it's been fixed or not at the moment. But I have seen, just so much of it knocking about. And this also causes a degeneration effect as well, which deals degeneration. This is equivalent to about 80% of his base attack, so it's alright, it's a bit of additional damage there, but nothing like super special. And again, you can pause this degeneration with his heavy as well, so that's a pretty cool interaction. Special attack 2, you've got 2 effects. You've got a 6-second concussion, and that activates even if the attack is blocked or avoided, so that's minus 100% ability accuracy for 6 seconds. Really, really good. And again, you can kind of increase the interval of this by throwing the heavy attack to pause it as well, and 100% chance to stun for 2.5 seconds. And then finally, the special attack 3 has a double duration concussion, so you've got 12 seconds, and also a power leech, which steals 20% of the target's max power over 3 seconds. But again, you can pause the power leech as well to gain a little bit more from it. So overall, man, there's a lot of very quirky and interesting utility which can be used to play around kind of all sorts of stuff there. But anyway, we're going to jump into the final quest of Act 4 and go against Maestro and see how we find this lad to kind of play. I played him a little bit yesterday just as a rank 3 character, and we did a Thanos takedown video, and he didn't feel too bad, man. He felt quite fun to play, and I think one of the best things about Mister Sinister as well is just how insane some of the animations are. They are really, really cool looking, and we're also trying out the new cable synergy as well. So randomly at the start of the fight, we're going to gain 25% more attack, power, or armor. So that's a cool little synergy that he has. But unfortunately, we got the armor there, which is the most useless one. And also by the Havoc synergy, we gain degeneration on parry, which is very, very nice there. You can see we're holding the heavy attack, paused both of them, and because we got both of the debuffs, get a lot more crit rating and also crit damage. So when you've got these buffs active, you're seeing crits a fair bit there. Right, let's go for another 5 combo. Let's get the parry. Let's go for a heavy attack. And I think because we are pausing and dealing a little bit of damage over time, sometimes the hit counter might be a little bit misleading. But so far, man, 26 hits, we've taken down a good amount. It's getting fairly decently. Smack that hog down, and then he's going to have the ability accuracy reduction and the power leech. So ideally we wanted to get heavy attack there, but unfortunately we didn't really have a good interval to do so. As you can see, we can even pause the concussion there, which is really, really nice and really, really useful. Right, let's see if we can get some of these crits off, man. Right, 1, 2, and there we go. And I think we'll fire off a special 2 next. Hopefully seal this lad out of the matchup. Let's go in, go for a heavy attack. Get the crit, and then I think we'll go for a combo special 1. And there we go. absolutely smashed there. So 55 hits, man. Not a bad performance there on the initial fight. The fight time is a little bit longer because the hit counter, you know, is a little bit slower, and you're also getting kind of that big singular heavy attack as well. But yeah, not too bad, man, not too bad. I'm kind of interested to see, because I feel like Sinister's a very quirky character, and I feel like he's a little bit hard to tier, so I'm really interested to kind of watch a fair bit more Sinister gameplay. But this is a really cool thing against opponents that can shrug. You can just pause the stuff, so you get kind of a good interval here to smash in and not worry about it too much. But that little degeneration off the parry is like really nice additional source of damage as well. Look at it just ticking away. And let's go for a special 2 here. Oh, right, we didn't quite connect that one. There we go, boys. We're back in the game, though. It's all right. And let's go for another combo there and get the symbiote down. But that was a pretty good matchup, in all fairness, man. There we go. Skill symbiote absolutely wrecked there. Let's move on to the next opponent, Captain Findy War. And see how he gets on. I'm very interested to see like a few different matchups. The magic one, the Iron Man as well. We've got the Magneto synergy, so we won't be affected by the class disadvantage there. Fortunately, start with the armor buff, which certainly isn't super ideal. All right, let's go for this. Want that juicy power gain or the attack from the cable synergy. Would be a very, very good time. I think that heavy attack, especially the degeneration synergy, is going to have some very interesting uses going forward. No, I just feel like there's just going to be like random like bosses that come up in the future. There's going to be all sorts of like Mister Sinister cheese videos, I would imagine. Because there's got to be some ways to fire back stuff like debuffs as well with the special one. He's just a very, very quirky and niche character. But I like him. I'm very, very glad he's in the game, because I think he adds kind of another dimension to the gameplay in a bit of a way. And also, as we're going through these fights, we're kind of ramping up all of the various effects that we gain from killing characters of certain classes. So we're going to gain a little bit more power once we kill this magic. But again, my Mister Sinister, I just don't have many mutant signature stones to splash into this lad. So that is a little bit unfortunate there. Let's go for this. Right, unfortunately we got smacked with a limbo there. Oh my goodness, are we really doing this in like 10 hits? That's really good. Also this heavy attack, for all the damage you get out of it from every single one, is really, really good. There's a lot of bang for your buck there. I think especially when it comes to stuff like Thorn's Paths, or certain scenarios where you want to hit the opponent the least amount of times possible, then that's going to have some very handy utility uses. I kind of feel like he's the impression. What kind of impression do I get? Kind of like the Swiss Army knife impression of Mister Sinister. I think he's like pretty good at doing quite a few things, but I don't think he's necessarily the best at any one thing in particular that I can think of right now in terms of matchups. But I feel like there's so much to this character and the ways that you could use him that I'm very curious to see what comes in the next few months from Mister Sinister players. Right, let's go for a dodge here, and then if we got another special 2 to fire off. Ronan's a bit of a chunky lad. And there we go. That'll mince him down. So 40 hits there. Not bad, man. Not bad. I think we did we have the power gain at the start of that one? The cable synergy is something really interesting. I definitely want to try that out with Domino at some point as well. Because if we could get something like the power gain on Domino, man, that'd be absolutely phenomenal for certain fights. But I like that Mister Sinister is quite a chunky character as well. He's got a very, very nice health pool on him. Right. Smack it up. I think we'll go for 5 combo here. Fire off this. That, what is it, Cyclops synergy is really, really nice for almost getting very close to guaranteed crits on stuff like the special attacks. Fire the last wave off, and not quite, boys, not quite. But we are close, very close. Right, there we go, the Cosmic Symbiote goes down. Yeah, I'm interested to see like Arc Overload Iron Man and Maestro matchups, because we had such an amazing result yesterday playing Havoc on both of those fights, and those are the ones where kind of the new champions, they really get pushed to the test. But so far, man, I must admit, I had fairly like low expectations for today's gameplay. I feel like Mister Sinister, he's pleasantly surprising me. He's going a little bit above what I expected the character to be doing in terms of output and how he feels. Right, let's get in there. Let's throw a heavy attack, get the crit buff. Let's go for a 5 combo. And just one more combo, and Gamora's down. 29 hits there. I feel like he's kind of finishing fights in a similar time for Havoc, but I feel like as well, Havoc yesterday, in all fairness, had so much overkill on like every single fight here. Like his special 3 is just nuts, mate. So nuts. We had to take him into what was it, Act 5 in the end to really get you know, to really try and ramp up his performance a bit more. And I think Mister Sinister as well is, well, also, I guess some things to bear in mind is, you know, we are missing out on a fair bit of effectiveness because we don't have more signature levels. We'd be getting a bit more bonus in terms of the power we're gaining and damage we're dealing at the moment if we did have the slightly higher signature Sinister here. I think if we try and time this in well, actually, this should completely prevent the Arc Overload from proccing. Damn, that's a sick interaction, man. So yeah, if we can just get another special 2, that should be a really, really good time. Right, I'm going to throw this off. Oh, wow. Damn, that was a great performance. Yeah, that was sick. That was really, really sick. He did so well there, man. Oh, my goodness. Very pleasantly surprised. Very, very pleasantly surprised. But also we do have the Magneto synergy, which is giving us 20% more attack against tech-based characters as well. Okay, we got the power gain from Cable here. Right, I forgot what special I was trying to dodge there, so just didn't do a terribly good job, but let's go ahead. Fire that off. Let's get in for the 5 combo when we've got all this nice additional damage here. 1, 2. I love the animations as well, man. Even on that hand one, it just looks so nice. Right, and there we go. Oh, okay, right. And I think the ability to like bounce back as soon as you get crit is like, it's just a really nice additional bit of utility when you're playing the champion. As you can see there, man, it gave us a nice bit of additional regeneration. And there are a fair amount of times, man, where you'll mess up and get crit. So when fighting like Agons, Corvuses, could be quite useful. Right, let's go for 1 level 3 health potion and just top them up with a couple of level 2 ones. Just 1 level 2. Let's just go for 1 level 2. That should be fine. Right, let's play the game of Can I Remember How to Evade Maestro's Special 1 today. Let's figure this one out together, lads. See how we get on. Right, I think I'll just throw a 5 combo here to try and get him to a special 2. Just going to throw that special 2 to get that stun over a bit. That stun is so nice for a matchup like Maestro, or one where you want to avoid the special 1. Let's go! Super Saiyan! Yes, boys! Whoa! Damn! I'm impressed. I'm just impressed by today's performance. The character, he felt so smooth to play throughout, and I felt like every single little matchup we kind of had like an answer for. Oh, he's so quirky. I really do like Mister Sinister though. I must admit, this video has made me like recording this like him like substantially more. So yeah, I don't know, what are my final thoughts? I think there's a lot to be explored by Mister Sinister, and I would love to see a few people kind of, you know, taking him up to rank 5, 65, and playing around with him in various stuff like Endgame Alliance Quest, Endgame Alliance War. I think once the kind of bug gets fixed with his, what is it, you know, Labyrinth Crazy Suicide Mastery transfer, he's probably not going to be that exciting for kind of big stuff like Labyrinth, but I see like tons of uses and stuff like Varian, Act 5, Alliance Quest, maybe Alliance War, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. He's very, very quirky. I would describe him as a very niche Swiss Army Knife champion that has odd stuff that can very often come in useful if you're playing around certain matchups. So yeah, I don't know, man. I definitely got a lot to think about with Mister Sinister, but I would love to see some more gameplay. So if you get a 5-star want to max out, get in contact with your boy over here. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments section below. Where on the tier list would you rank Mister Sinister? I don't believe he's kind of a beyond god tier, game-changing champion. I think he's somewhere, again, kind of in very similar to Havoc in a way. That he's kind of like in this maybe gap between like high demigod tier and god tier. He could kind of fit into either one. I think he'd be a very, very strong high demigod tier champion, or maybe a bit of a low ranking god tier. I'm not really too sure. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more, watch a little bit more gameplay, have a bit more time to digest. But I really like Mister Sinister, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.